Heck, I don't know why. I don't know why my intro won't play. Hey everybody, sorry that for the awkwardness. For some reason, it would not play my theme song. I hope everybody's having a great night tonight. As usual, we are sponsored by the Independent Creator Directory. I'm pretty sure everybody who's watching is already a member of the Independent Creator Directory, but if you're not, it is a pretty cool thing. It is basically the Internet Movie Database, but for independent creators. If you're interested in becoming a member, talk to Joe Bachman. So I am going to show. So I'm pretty sure you guys all know because everybody was congratulating me in the comments. But yeah, we are officially funded, and I was going to read the comments before we did the countdown, but since we only have 100 seconds to go, maybe I'll just let it play out. Now, I'm curious if anybody will be a last minute guy, literally a last minute guy, but yeah, this is pretty. It wasn't completely. It wasn't completely a last minute getting backed, but I mean we did get backed late in the evening yesterday, so pretty cool. And I am very excited because I will be sending this off to the printers shortly, and then all we have to do is wait to get the things back, and then we will go straight to. They will go to all of the Kickstarter backers. So we have a little over 30 seconds now. I think I timed this pretty good. I timed it to end about 5 minutes after I was done talking about it. When we get to 10 seconds, then I'll start the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! So pretty good news, right, guys? Very exciting. So we'll see what everybody has to say. Dan is saying good evening. Don is saying hi, Dan. Dan is saying almost time. Carl is saying good evening. Good evening to you too, Carl. Don is saying hi to WD40. Oh, no, that's not WD40. That's Witzman, dude. I was just joking. Donna says, don't forget to like and share. Good advice. Donna is congratulating me. Carl is agreeing. Carl is saying it was a nail biter. It was a little bit of a nail biter. I don't like them to be this close, but there's a little bit of a nail biter. I agree with you. Dan is saying that he's tapped out. Dan is saying he's tapped out temporarily because of the house repair bills. I mean, I totally get that, Dan, and I mean, I know everybody goes through periods where they have more money than other times. You've always been very supportive in the past, Dan, so I appreciate you saying that. But really, it's I appreciate if you can support me in any way. Um, and I don't take for granted. Like I would never want somebody to feel like they were obligated to help me out. Carl is agreeing with me. Ehrenberg is saying the final countdown. Hail Grant and chat. We garnered some new cryptid fans in Richmond this weekend. That's right. Ehrenberg just got back from Richmond. I believe it was called Cosplay Con. Donna is saying good news, or she's actually saying great news. And everybody is welcoming Herwenberg, as well as us welcoming them back. So the question is, of course, what are we gonna spend the rest of the day or the rest of the episode talking about? Well, I figured we would talk about what we have coming up next. Let me share my screen. Okay, so what we're working on here is the next issue of Memoirs of the Morbid. And yes, Memoirs of the Morbid is the comic book where the phrase homage was first coined. And I'm very excited about this because I have been practicing a new style, a little bit of rougher style. I think it's going to look really good. And I'm excited. I'm not excited about how many daggone layers we have. If you hear stuff in the background, that's my stepson. That's my stepson taking out the trash for tonight. Now Angie's going out to argue with him. I don't know why she's arguing with him, but that's what's going on out there. Sorry, it's taking me a minute to figure out what layers are which. It's been a while since I worked on this page. I don't know why I created so many layers. This one page. Aha, that's the layer I was trying to find. I don't like how this shadow turned out, so I'm going to erase all this. But I hope you guys are having a lovely weekend, or I hope you guys had a lovely weekend and are settling into the week now. I had a nice enough weekend. We met up with some friends of mine for a brunch, and then that was on Sunday. I had to work Saturday. That was not too bad. I had to work a Pantera concert, and I mean, I'm not a fan of Pantera's music, but The roadies, at least, were plenty nice enough. Um, they did not have a lot of stuff in their truck. I don't know why they insisted on us setting up the concert 3 days in advance. Let me know in the comments or in the chat, I should say, what you guys did for the weekend. Also, let me know what you think I should do to celebrate my victory. My victory. So Dan is saying, being retired every day is part of my weekends now. LOL. I'm curious if you ever got the problems worked out with your contractors, because I was worried that Dan was gonna go track down these contractors and do bodily harm to them. Not that I think Dan really would, because Dan seems like a pretty nice guy, but he seemed pretty frustrated with his contractors, which I don't really blame him for, because I mean, he's paying a lot of money for this shit, right? The least these people can do is show up when they say they're going to show up, right? I don't know. That's just my opinion. But fortunately, I haven't really had to do that with my house yet. I've had little renovations here and there, like we had to get a new furnace and stuff. But we haven't had any major problems. I think I once had a $100 plumber bill. So that was interesting. Yes. So the page that I'm working on right now is kind of like right before the big climactic ending of the story, where our main hero is going up against to fight a demon. He wants to stock up on army supplies. And as you can probably guess, this story isn't 100% serious. There's a little bit of comedy in it. I feel like there's a little bit of comedy in everything I do, right? You guys have probably noticed that in my stories so far. So Carl is saying that it's important to have hobbies to do during retirement, or else boredom sets in. Well, I know, Carl, you do Munzie, and I know you also have your writing career. I don't know. I don't know if you think of that as a hobby, or if you think of that as kind of like maybe a I don't know if that's like a second revenue stream or whatever. Dan is saying they still have more work to do, but today I was told they would be back in 2 weeks to finish up what has been paid for. After that, we have 2 sets of contractors vying for stage 2 of the work. My goodness, this sounds like a very big project that you're doing, Dan. I'll put it this way, I don't envy you. I waste all of my money on comic books. I don't have money left over um, for contractors. I don't have money to waste on renovations to my house because I waste all of my money on my comic books. But yeah, Dan, it sounds like you're putting a lot of work into this house. I'm sure it'll look amazing when it's done. But I can see why it's kind of stressful at the moment, right? Act. Now my computer's starting to act slowly. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. Hope you guys had a good Monday. I hope that you find sitting here watching me draw to be kind of relaxing on your Monday evening. I know I can relax a little bit more now that my comic book is funded. And now it's going to be about 2 weeks before I get the money. Then I can ship it off to the printer and start thinking about getting copies. I'm very excited about. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that shadow looks a little bit less ragged? I don't know. I mean, I do want my this style to be a little bit ragged, but I don't know. I was just looking a little bit too ragged. I just got a message from Angie saying great job. So Dan is saying one will be doing better work more quickly. The other may cost less, but have other contracts to distract them. Oh, so it's the old cliche about fast, cheap, or good. Dan is saying that they're tearing up the floor and replacing it. Materials cost more than the labor. Okay, so do you have what? Linoleum? Do you have hardwood? What do you have? Carl is saying Munzie writing shortwave radio. Oh, Munzie writing shortwave radio, following tons of YouTubers, photography, cats and computer work. My brother keeps sharing jobs with me, but no thanks. He's been there, done that. Yeah, if you don't need the money, why would you want that stress? Dan says, we just want the work done and over with so we can get back to normal. Carl says, the shadow looks good. So far, the work has cost about 10,000, but it's been slow. We want the rest to go faster. Oh my goodness, $10,000! Wow. Well, I hope you get for that much money. They should do it all with a smile on their face, right? I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but you know what I meant. Um, and yeah, um, getting a contractor is expensive, so you want the work to be done quickly. Um, so, have you been happy with the quality of the work, Dan? I'm curious. So, Dan is saying that it turns out they had termites too. Oh my God. He's saying that it turns out they had termites, and that's been dealt with, and we'll get a yearly treatment to make sure they don't come back. The floor joints had to be replaced, subfloor and laminate flooring on top. Oh, okay. So you got laminate. I was gonna say, I mean, nowadays a lot of this, the laminate that you get, a lot of times the laminate looks better or almost as good as like hardwood floors. I mean, that technology has really come a long way since in the past few years. You know what I mean? So we're gonna start coloring this, or I should say grayscaling it. I hope it doesn't look too busy with all this camouflage, right? So just for the record, I do think that this is going to be a shorter show. I think I am gonna maybe have a glass of wine or something to celebrate my Kickstarter victory. And then maybe I'll head to bed. But I really have been enjoying working on this comic book, just like I enjoyed working on the Cryptids 3. I think I'm starting to enjoy the Kickstarters more than I did back in the day. Um, I don't get super stressed out about them like I used to. Dan says, I'm happy with the amount of work they've done, but not with their timeliness. We're just one job among many. Yeah, that can be hard. Dan, you're going to have a new house at least from the floor down. That's a good point. Dan says new paint on the walls and ceiling too. It needs to last for the rest of our lives. No mortgage, no loans, just utility bills. Wow, that must be nice. And Carlos saying good idea. Why not? I thought he was saying good idea to the no mortgage, no loans, just utility bills now. I was thinking like, yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But I think he meant good idea for having a glass of wine before I go to bed. I'll tell you what, Dan, I think both of those things are good ideas. But yeah, I should be out celebrating, but I'm just sitting here quietly drawing like I always do on Monday night. A lot of times we have people to interview, and that is not the case tonight. But um, yeah, I think it's nice to have a quiet night every once in a while. And of course, I do my show, which I enjoy. I wasn't sure if I was going to like doing a show, but I think I do. I'm not sure if that's a surprise to anybody or not, but I like getting to talk to you guys. I like hearing about what's going on in your lives. And I like getting to sit here and draw. Like, I never would have known about Dan's termite problem if not for this show. I do hope that you get that worked out. Oh, excuse me. I do hope you get that worked out, Dan. So Carl is saying some folks were jealous when I retired and took a pension. I told them that all they had to do was complete 45 years of working. Yeah, I don't know about that, Carl. I mean, I don't know if companies that still offer pensions really exist anymore. I don't know. Maybe they do. I haven't found any. I'm going to go a little bit darker. I mean, I'm happy that you were able to get a pension, Carl. I can tell you, um, I mean, I tried very hard for a while to find work where that offered, some type of pension, and it just was, uh, At least the companies that I worked for, none of them. Back when I was a graphic designer, I mean, I think that's part of it. I did not, I did not have an in-demand skill set. Let's put it that way. Um, Unfortunately, being able to make comic books is not considered an in-demand skill set. So, yeah. Oh well, right? Maybe one of my comic books will sell well enough that I can turn that into a retirement plan. I guess we'll see, right? Dan says, Grant, being totally out of debt comes as you grow older and deadlines pass. Paid off the house 10 years ago. Bought a new truck and a car and paid cash for them. My philosophy is no more loans. Yeah, that's how my parents are. But according to my mom, she's owed money twice in her entire life. Once was when she signed up for college. She was able to pay off her student loans in a couple of years, which is pretty unbelievable. Um, and she took out a loan when they bought their first house. But they've paid cash for every car that they've owned, and they paid cash for their second house. So yeah, that would be amazing to be able to to live like that. And Carl is saying, right, jobs now don't offer good incentives to pay to stay. And Dan is saying, Carl and I started working almost half a century ago when pensions were given. Yeah, if you want to hear something really crazy, my dad worked for the same office for almost 40 years. Um, so yeah, pretty unbelievable. Um, and yeah, not only did he get a pretty sizable pension, he actually got an incentive to retire early because they figured it would actually be cheaper for him to retire and for them to pay him a pretty sizable pension and hire somebody fresh out of college that they didn't have to pay as much as they were paying him. So so oops, suffice it to say, my dad took that deal, and my dad has really been enjoying being retired, and my mom, I, my mom is a little bit more bored. But my dad has more of an active social life. Um, my dad has guys that he used to work with, who he goes and meets up with once a week. Um, and that's very nice for him. I like that. I like the fact that my dad seems very happy in retirement. Unfortunately, I don't think my mom is as happy in retirement. Um, she doesn't have as active of a social life, so that can be rough. But yeah, I don't think our generation is going to get to retire like your generation did. I'm going to be working when I'm 90. Like I said, unless I can get a comic book Carlos saying my greatest fear was being old and having no money. Yeah. And he said that shaped what I did from college on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we have an entire generation of people who A, haven't paid back their student loans yet, and B, have no retirement savings. So, um, yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen with that. Fortunately, you guys don't have to worry about that, but I do. Um, I still have quite a bit of student loan debt. Um, the house that I own, I could easily pay back in my lifetime, or maybe even less than my lifetime. But we're trying to buy the house that we live in, which is a more expensive house. Carl's saying, "We wish you the best of luck. Just keep working." Thank you, Carl. Yeah. It's interesting that my dad and my mom have very different views on retirement, because I think my mom wishes that she had not retired as early because I think she's kind of bored. Whereas my dad is quite happy. My dad likes getting up every morning and not really having anywhere to be. But um, you would think that my dad wouldn't enjoy being stuck in a house with my mom all day, because my mom is not easy to get along with. But and I can say that because I know there's 0% chance of my mom ever watching this. Well, and I think also my mom knows that she's not very easy to get along with. But that's what retirement's all about, right? You guys were lucky to retire just when YouTube was becoming a thing, right? Because I know you guys spend a lot of your time, and so do I, uh, with YouTube. So Carl is saying that his brother got bored and went back to work, and he thinks that I'm bored too. Dan is saying absolute freedom comes from finally leaving a job you hated the whole time, but paid for everything plus retirement. I didn't know that you hated your job, Dan. Um, uh, I mean, I've had many jobs throughout my life, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I've hated most of them. Um, which, I mean, I think a lot of people feel that way. Um, I think that that's a sad reality of living in the world we live in. Most people hate their jobs. I never got the impression that Carl hated his job. I know that there were aspects of it that he hated, um, but I don't know. Carl seems like such an easygoing guy. I don't know. I can't imagine him getting too mad about anything. Carl is saying the best thing about YouTube is tutorials on how to do things, how to change the taillight of your car yourself, etc. Saves you money. And Carl is saying if it were fun, they would charge you to do it. The fact that they have to pay you means these are things you have to do. Fair enough. Dan says doing shows is all about the community in the audience as well as on screen with you. My friends are sometimes half a world away, but I can now meet them in online screen, real time. Yeah, I think that that's true, and I think that that's nice. Um, I did say that I was going to end a little bit early tonight. Actually, I'm not ending all that super early because we usually end around 9:50 or so. But this was a good conversation, guys. Thank you again for watching. We will be back next week, and I think next week we're going to have a guest. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great week. Dan, I hope you get your termite problem fixed before then. Everybody else, have a wonderful week. And Carl says, go have your wine and see everyone later. I will see you guys probably Wednesday on Nevermind the Furthermore. Good night, guys.